First of all, Coach, thank you for taking the time to meet with us and just kind of give us a little bit of your background, how you got to Mosinee and kind of your path up to getting the head job.
Yeah, it's crazy how I ended up here. Actually, we're playing Stratford this week Friday, and connections with people who work and coach over there actually brought me to Mosinee. So I originally started teaching and coaching in Stevens Point, and then one day I got a call from Dr. Nate Lehman over there at Stratford now, but he was the principal here at the time, and I know his nephew very well. His nephew Blake Lehman, he teaches and coaches over there. I know Marshall over there as well. Gave me a call and wanted me to come teach and coach here, and been here. This will be my 6th year now, but enjoyed it. And obviously, people move on and do other things and progress in their careers and such. But graduated from Point, started teaching in Point, and then been here ever since.
And you talk about just that kind of progression, I guess. What got you into coaching? What made you want to coach? And especially because it's not just football you coach, it's track and field, you're doing a lot of strength stuff. I guess talk about kind of your background.
So I had a great experience when I was in high school. I'm originally from Jefferson, Wisconsin. Really good baseball school, good football program in the past, but also just had great influence from coaches that I had there. And then was lucky enough to continue on playing college football at UW Stevens Point. Made a lot of good connections there with people and other guys who are coaching across central Wisconsin, some guys down in the Madison area, Milwaukee as well. But just had a great experience and wanted to continue to give that experience to other people.
And with this background, obviously, when getting into coaching in different locations, a lot of powerhouse schools that you've been at, as you've described, just kind of talk about what you've learned from your different stops and when getting here and now getting this head job, and I guess how you're going to use those experiences helping lead Mosinee.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been fortunate enough to work with some great coaches and some great people. I think three coaches that I've been mentored by in the past who are Wisconsin Football Coaches Hall of Fame. So a lot of good experience there and learning from those guys, and very thankful for what they've been able to help me with throughout my career. But 6 years ago when I started, 8 years ago when I started coaching, if you would have asked me to be in this position at the time, probably no. But after all of the growth that I've had and all the things that I've learned over the past few years, I think I'm ready.
Obviously, when you took over the shop, coming up from an assistant, a lot of familiarity with the guys that from coming back from last year. How big is that for you as a coach to have those guys know you already and kind of have that relationship with you as you take over now with the main headset?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, the respect and the trust is already developed, and I think those are two really important things to have when you're a part of any team. No matter what sport, you want kids and coaches to respect you. You want community members to respect you, and then you want people to have trust in you. But you can't just expect it right away either. So I'm continuing to work on that and continue to get better because that helps make our team stronger.
Absolutely, and with this team, obviously defending conference champs, you guys have been one of the forces in the Great Northern for a while now. How big is that to kind of have the team that people are going to try and knock off every week, that you guys are going to be the ones that everyone's going to bring their A game?
Yeah, I mean, that's the situation every single year, and I have tremendous respect for all the teams in our conference. But this is a new year, a new coaching staff, new players as well. So all the success in the past is great. Our goal is to continue that tradition of that success, but we also know that we have a lot of work to do, and nothing's just going to be handed to us. So we got to go in every single week and work really hard and put together a plan with the coaching staff and prepare these guys well so that on Fridays they can go out and play confidently, play fast, and play physical.
And just talk about some of the guys coming back on this team. There's a lot of talent that did leave, but also still plenty of great players that are still going to be wearing the violet this year. Just talk about some of the guys you have back on the roster here in 2026.
Well, I told the guys on day one, our team's going to be based off of the physicality up front. And we got a lot of really good upperclassmen who will help out on the offensive line and defensive line. Guys like Caden Ludwig and Michael Madela, Gavin Clyver, those guys are going to lead the way on the offensive and defensive line. We're going to count on them heavily.
And then I guess you kind of go further. Talk about some of your skill guys. I think you got your running back coming back. You got a lot of guys they'll get the headlines, but obviously the linemen are going to be the ones that everyone wants to talk to, I think, after the games.
I mean, those guys, the big guys up front are the ones who are going to be providing opportunities for the guys in the backfield to be making plays. We got 4 guys that we can count on at running back. We got Rudy Harris and Landon Tim and Max Harris as well, as younger brother, and then Carter Simonis, who's also a young guy who's going to help us out.
And looking forward to the season, obviously you got a couple tough ones to start non-conference that you played last couple of years in Stratford and Menasha. How big is it to have those type of opponents in non-conference play to get you guys ready for the Great Northern?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head how long this Mosinee Stratford game has been going on, but since I've been here the last 6 years, we've played them, and every year it's been a great matchup. A lot of respect for the tradition and the work that Stratford's been putting in over the past couple of years. Obviously, goes to show with their success. And then Menasha, being new, last year was the first year we played them, but they got a lot of talent as well, and tremendous respect for them and their coaching staff. But for me, I think it's a great test to see what this team's all about. I'd rather these guys play tough non-conference opponents, so that can help prepare us when we get into the conference in the GNC.
And this is something I've asked every coach that I've talked to. What's that moment going to be like for you when you leave the tunnel with the guys on the sideline for that first game? I guess what's going to be your emotion as the head coach going out there and seeing in the season's finally here, everything we worked for the past 10 months now is going to come to fruition starting now?
Well, try not to be too emotional. Obviously, it's a game. We got to treat every game like it's going to be well prepared. We got to treat every game like we're going to go in there confidently and do what we need to do, and not try to show too much emotion. But inside it'll be a really special feeling, and something that not only I have worked towards, but all the coaches that we have on staff, we're continuing to work really hard as well. And then obviously you want to see these players who've been working all summer and worked well in camp and worked real hard and saw some success in our scrimmage last Friday and Thursday as well. Put it all together. So emotionally, I'll probably hold it all together, but you kind of have to once the game gets going.
And what was it like for you with the senior class? Obviously, you've been there their entire tenure, and I guess what's it like seeing them through 4 years make their impact and the legacy that they're going to leave behind?
Yeah, I think I'm extremely proud of the growth that I've seen from that senior class, and not just physically and not just mentally and emotionally as well, but just seeing them as leaders too. It's always, you always want to count on your seniors to be leaders of your team, and I've been part of teams, not here in Mosinee necessarily, but I've been part of teams when I was in college and high school as well, where you just sometimes can't count on those seniors. You got to count on some younger guys, but I can say all the seniors that we have been able to count on, and they've been great leaders and mentors to our underclassmen as well. We got 26 freshmen out, and every single one of those freshmen feel part of the team, and I think that's really important.
And then what's been like with the community embracing you here as the head coach for your first time, just seeing the support you've gotten, support the guys have gotten with some changes around that have been going on? Yeah,
I've always felt welcomed in this community, and very thankful for all the people who have been very kind and generous to me and my family in supporting as well. With administration and teachers that I work with and other coaches that I've worked with in the past. It's definitely a good feeling, and you want to make sure that you put a product out on the field, and also a product in the classroom and in the community with these young men that we're coaching. Not just coaching X's and O's and putting guys out on the field, but we're putting kids in the classroom, we're putting kids out in the community, out in work, and really want to put something out there that a lot of people can be proud of and thankful for.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much again for giving us a few minutes of your time. Good luck this season, and of course you can watch every snap on Zaleski Sports as Mosinee looks to defend their Great Northern Conference Championship.